welcome back to Lilybugs Library. And it is time for part 2 of Friday Reads. So part 1 should be up, and take a look for that one. And just to continue with what I read over the past week, I threw in a couple. I've been concentrating so hard on Big Book Summer. I had to throw in a couple of cozies after I read Isabella Street because I needed it. So the first one was Two-Tailed Trouble, and it's part of the Norwegian Cat Cafe mysteries. And with this one, Lauren, with her Norwegian forest cat Annie, and her friend, her cousin Zoe, they go to an anniversary party at the senior center, and they have brought cookies and all of those things for the seniors. And there's supposed to be a new owner to the senior center, and everybody's a little concerned about it because I guess they've been paying hardly any rent and have fixed up the center. That's the reason they had low rent, is they agreed to fix up the center with their own money and their own time, and they've been there for 20 years. So sure enough, the guy comes in that now owns the place, and he tells them, like, that's it, we're tearing it down, we're building a big mall and things there, and a resort, and so everyone's devastated by this. And the man's wife is with him, and she doesn't seem so happy about it either. She doesn't really seem to care for some of his ideas. And then later on during that same day, of course, he ends up dead. So Lauren and Zoe and Annie are all trying to figure out what happened, and who is it exactly that wanted him dead, and why? Was it because of the senior center? Was it because of something else? So it's really good. It was, I always love these books. Annie, the Norwegian forest cat, is so sweet. And I tend to listen to the audiobooks of them, and I think that's even cuter because you get to hear the person who does the audio, and I confess I don't know who it is, but they do the cat sounds. So like, like, I don't know, I can't do it, but but they do a good job of it, and it sounds like a cat. And it's all the little inflections in Annie's voice when she's leading someone to their chair at the cat cafe, or whether she's trying to help them solve a mystery. So really lighthearted and fun, and love the characters. There's a bit of a romance going on between Lauren and the police detective. I always have to think about, is it the police chief? Is it the police detective? But I believe he's a detective. And so that's been fun to watch it kind of develop, and it's starting to get a little I won't say steamy because it's a cozy. It doesn't have steam, but a little more serious, I think. So I don't know whether by the time I get to book 7 or 8 whether there'll be wedding bells or not. But so far I'm really enjoying that part of it as well. But it doesn't take away from the cozy. It's just kind of a little extra part to it. So had a lot of fun with that one, and so much so that I went on and did the next one in the series, which was Pause and Punishment. And so in this one, Lauren decides that she needs a trim, and so Zoe gives her a haircut and doesn't do a very good job. So Lauren ends up running to the new salon that's in town. It's actually an old salon, but the person who owned it retired, and a new woman is running it. And so that's fine. The woman straightens out Lauren's hair, but while they're in there, this woman comes in, and she's freaking out because her perm didn't turn out the way that she wanted it to when she went to the salon. And turns out she didn't listen to the hairdresser's instructions, and she went home and washed it and made a mess of it. So she was all angry and up in arms, and so she stormed out of there, and is kind of spreading things around town about how this hairdresser's no good, when really that's not the case. And she ends up getting killed, and with a hairdryer wrapped around her throat. So of course everyone suspects the hairdresser, and it's up to Zoe and Lauren and Annie to find out what happened to this person. And whether it had anything to do with the hairdresser. So again, really cute, a sweet kind of story. I think in this one, Lauren catches a cold, which you don't see a lot in, I guess, any book really. I mean, certainly not in a cozy, but she's down and out for a few days. So Annie and Zoe are waiting on her and kind of watching over her, and her boyfriend comes to kind of look after her a little bit too. And it just adds a little extra, I don't know, realism to it, I guess. But really enjoyed that one as well. So I would give both of those probably 4 out of 5. Now, the last one that I read for this week was called When the Time Comes. And this was an interesting one. It's the first in the Timeless series. And it's about a woman who is living in 2 different times. And they call it a time crosser instead of like a time traveler or something like that. It's a time crosser. And she gets to do that right up until she is 21. And then she has to choose a time. So it's every night she goes to sleep in one time, she wakes up in the other, does a full day there, and then back and forth. So it would get hard on the head, frankly. It would get a little confusing. But anyway, she starts to do this. Her name is Libby. And one of her timelines is 1774 Colonial Williamsburg. And the other one is 1914 in New York City. And so 2 very different time periods. But both, strangely enough, happen to be close to a time of war. With the 1774 timeline, it's getting close to the American Revolution. And then with the 1914 timeline, she's getting close to World War I. So she has different things that she likes about both timelines, but she's pretty sure she knows which timeline she's going to choose because there is a man in that timeline that she's in love with. But sometimes fate has a way of making things happen that you don't expect and changing things that you think you understand. So she really gets thrown for a loop, and it's really well done. It's a kind of a new take on an old story with the fact that at 21 she has to make up her mind. Normally you don't see that in timelines. And the same sort of thing, though, like if you change something in one timeline, it's going to, may change things in the other timeline, right? Like if you told someone about what was going to happen for the American Revolution, it might change something, and America would still be part of England, and it would change what happened in World War I. Like it's just, there's a lot of things that it could hurt if you said anything. So really enjoyed that. The side characters were good. She has a mother in one timeline. She has both parents in the other timeline. She's, of course, has friends and is meeting people in both timelines. So it's... I enjoyed the side characters, not quite as much maybe as the main character, but they definitely filled out the different timelines, which I liked. And I thought it was good. It was it ends well. It's got a good ending, and I'm curious as to where the next book goes. I haven't looked it up, but I will, because she had a couple of sisters in one of the timelines. And then she also, which I don't know if they were time crossers, I don't think so, but she also ends up with, the story continues. I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say there are other time crossers, and they cross our path in this book, so I feel the other books will probably be about those. And the romance in it was really good. I think it's actually supposed to be a historical romance, so I did enjoy that part of it too, but I really enjoyed the time crossing part and the main character, Libby, and her trying to find her way with all this. So that one I would give 5 out of 5. So that was my reading. So I did pretty well this week. 4 books. still in the middle of a bunch of books. I don't even know what at this point, but one of them is the beginning of Tanya Kappa's series. I can't remember the name of the series, but it's something to do with like a post office worker. So I just started that. I did go on one of my last videos. I had a couple of people recommend cozies to me, and I did go purchase those. So now I will start each one of those series not too long from now. I do have some arcs that are I'd like to have done for July. I'm going backwards instead of forwards for July. So I am gonna try working on those over the next few weeks. So might get in one more book for Big Book Summer for June, maybe start it for June, but we'll see how it goes. And then an author reached out to me and asked me to look at their book and review it, so I've got that on my plate. I'm trying not to take on too much, but I think I'm failing miserably at it. So we'll see how things go. So that's it from here. It's was looking nice out. Now it's starting to get kind of cloudy and dark, so not sure what the day is going to bring. And I did, since Dudley hasn't been in the videos lately, he's been kind of napping and here and there, so I did include a nice picture of Dudley at the beginning for the thumbnail, just so everyone could see him. So that's about it from here in Canada. So hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.